Soundstripe. 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 Soundstripe.
All right. Good morning. Welcome back. Let's go Rangers, baby. Yes, sir. What a game. Felt like I needed to wear the jersey this morning. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Like number 89. Press that like button. Good morning from Amsterdam. Let's go, Chef. Let's go, baby. Buenos dias. All right. Yeah, who won last night? The Stars or the Alex? Appreciate that, Alex. Thank you, brother. Wow, Colorado won an OT. Holy shit. That was 3-0. Damn. Avalanche were down 3-0. Wow, they came back and won 4-3. Oh, that was a good game. Should have watched that. Some good hockey out there, man. Playoff hockey. It's the best sport in the world, in my opinion. Best sport in the world. Can't even compare it to anything else. Playoff hockey, man. The best. All right. Welcome back, guys. I hope you guys had a decent day yesterday. I did not. Just nothing out there for me. Tried a few trades, tried to get some continuation, just didn't catch it. Kept my losses manageable and walked away with a red day. So yesterday, if you look at the market, really not much there. This move to the upside over the last 2 days has felt very strange to me. I can't explain it. Maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe it's just my own problems. But it just feels like a strange just grind and really doesn't feel like there's opportunity. So today, I'm going to be very careful. There has been some opportunities on individual stocks like Meta and Netflix. There have been some really nice trades on some of those names. But overall, I take confidence from the market. I get confidence from the market action. And so if I'm not seeing good confidence, on the overall market, it's very hard for me to gain confidence in an individual stock move. So it's been tough for me the last few days. I haven't really trusted myself as much as maybe I should. So that's been my last 2 days. That's been the start of my trading week. Today, looking for hopefully some downside, to be quite honest. I think we need some downside to get a cleaner move. I would like to see this 518 level try to reject, try to see some more downside, sort of free up this move. I don't think it's good for the market just to continue to grind higher in this slow manner that it is. At least for traders, you really don't want this market to just keep grinding an inch higher every day. You'd prefer some volatility, some big drops, some opportunities to buy pullbacks, right? A big drop today would create another opportunity to buy pullbacks or a drop at any point. These little inched grind higher are great for our long-term portfolios. Love to see it, right? My long-term portfolio is up huge this last few days. But for trading, the inch grind higher on a daily basis just isn't it for options trading. So be careful there. If we just keep getting these little grinds, it's not going to be the best opportunities, at least for how I trade. How I personally trade, that's just how it is. So that's that. That's a little recap for you of my last few days, how I've been feeling about the last few days. It's not been great for me. I've been red the last few days, and hopefully today we can get a little bit more opportunity. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're looking at today. Let's start with the economic calendar. Really not much on that economic calendar. I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick. So right here, you guys can see economic calendar. Really nothing there. Today is Wednesday. You do have the 10-year bond auction. Something to be cautious of there. That's probably about it. Tomorrow, 8:30 unemployment claims. That's normal stuff. 30-year bond auction. And then on Friday, our consumer sentiment. All right. On the earnings side, you guys did see Uber, Shopify, I think Upstart, a few others report. I think they all went down. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Upstart was yesterday. So we saw Rivian go down, Upstart go down. I don't know what Lyft did. I'll have to look. Toast went up. Toast had good earnings, so that's good. Uber down, Shopify down. I didn't see what Affirm did. Later today, ARM, Robinhood, Airbnb, Trade Desk, Beyond Meat. Tomorrow, Roblox. Really not interested in any of this. Let's take a quick peek at what did Affirm do? Really nothing. Slightly higher. Upstart. Why is this all aligned differently? What was it? Okay. Toast. Take a quick peek at their earnings. What'd they say? Morgan Stanley raises price target. Q1 loss narrows, revenue rises. We're positioned for durable growth and ongoing margin expansion. That's good to hear. 1.075 billion, so slightly higher on the revenue number. Still looks like a net loss in the company. Looks like they have not turned a profit there this last quarter. All right. Let's see what happens there. As you guys know, I've been sort of buying some shares of that Toast theme for just sort of obvious reasons we talked about it. Reddit? What did Reddit do? Oh, Reddit had earnings. I didn't even know Reddit had earnings. How does Reddit make money? That's for another time. I'll have to look into it. All right. So, yeah, we saw Shopify go down. Big ouch on Shopify. This is why technical analysis just does not mean good earnings. That's very clear. We talk about that all the time. So this is why good technicals, right? Technical breakouts do not mean that you're going up on earnings. We do not trade technicals. We do not trade earnings plays based off of technical analysis. We know that we've talked about that nonstop. All right. NASDAQ. So I believe that a pullback is healthy, okay? That's just me. I believe a pullback is healthy from here. And so that is what I will be looking for, first of all, because I think there's a lot of opportunity on a pullback on this market. This is the trend that we are trading in, right? Sort of the bottom side of this trend is right around here, right? We see this bottom side of this trend down here, and we are very extended past that, right? We moved higher, pulled back, moved higher, pulled back, moved higher. If you guys look at this chart, right? If you look at this right here on your screen, what would you say the next potential move is? Okay? Just being logical here, right? Let's be logical for a second and not just be crazy people that think that the market goes like this, okay? The logical next move here at some point on the market is this, okay? And this does not mean, oh my God, run for the hills, we are so fucked, right? That's not what this means. This just means, hey, great opportunity to look for the next long, okay? So that's why I have not been able to be confidently long, right? I just can't be confidently long up here. It doesn't make sense, okay? It doesn't make sense in terms of risk reward. It just doesn't, right? I'd rather sit on my ass and do nothing than start longing up here, seeing this happen, and losing a bunch of money here, right? That's just totally irrational, okay? In terms of trading. It is irrational to try to continue to long, right, on a trend like this, up here, lose a bunch of money on this, and then watch it do this a week later, right? So I just can't do it, right? That's just why I've been having some struggle to really catch anything this week, because I'm trying to play this short, right? But there has been no follow-through yet. But I know there will be follow-through at some point, and I know that when it happens, I will be there, and I will make up all the losses that I've had this week. So I'm waiting for it, right? I'm waiting for it. I am short overnight, yesterday into today, so we'll see if today is the day I do get some downside. But for now, right, we'll have to see if that follow-through comes in. You guys can see right here. Here's some short-term levels that I am watching. I think this is an important break that's going on right now. I think this is an important break. Friday's close, which is ridiculous, is up here, that close on Friday. But this right here on this 18,150, I think is actually a quite important level that you are just breaking right now. This 18,150 level, if I zoom in on this, this is right here, right? This is this little double bottom low from Tuesday. That was that Tuesday pre-market low right here, 18,150, and that Friday sort of closing level. And you can see, right, 18,150, we just broke it, right? So I think this could create some downside. And where I'd like this downside to come into is right here, 18,070, right? 18,070, give back this Monday straight up move. I think that is very possible here, down to 18,070. If we get down to 18,070, there could be our next long opportunity, right? That could be nice. At least give us this, right? Give us a little bit of a pullback and give us some opportunity to maybe long again. So I think I'm pretty confident that you will see 18,070 here if you remain below this 18,150 and this 50 SMA, right? If you remain below these lows here, this high here, and this 50 SMA area, I think you are going to see that 18,070. So 18,070, under that 18,070, 18,000, right? 18,070, 18,000. These are two levels I think we should test here on the downside, something I will be waiting for. And under 18,000, I want to make sure you guys understand, like this move, this is a straight up gap up, right? Remember this, right? This is gap up action here. So there's still some gaps here. If we go to the SPY QQQ, I'll show you. Under 18,000, you have 17,900, and then you have 17,800. So here's your levels, right? The first level that I'm watching today is down into 1870, 18,000, 18,900, 18,800. And I think right now, the key rejection up here at this 18,260, it's very key, and you can see we're under this pre-market low from Tuesday, from yesterday. So if we stay under yesterday's lows, under yesterday's pre-market lows, I'd expect some weakness here. 18,070 looks to be a target. So that's that for now. Let's go to the QQQ real quick, because the QQQ is rejecting, in my opinion, a very big level here. Right, this is no joke. This is why I've been trying to look short on this market. You can see right here, right? Let's look to the left, right? Let's look to the left at 442. So you see this 442 on the Qs right there? Let's look to the left, okay? Let's pull this over and zoom in on this area on the QQQ. This is between March 21st and around April 15th. So that's about a month. Right, look at this, 421, 420, I'm sorry, 442, what am I saying, 421, 442, 442, 442, 442, 442, 442, 442, right? Look at all these 442 levels, all these reactions on the QQQ, and look at what happened yesterday, right? A perfect rejection of that 442 after a pretty ridiculous straight up move, right? A 5% straight up move on the QQQ without any type of pullback moves. You can see right here, this is our uptrend right here, right? This is our uptrend that we've been on, right? Sort of, call it that right there. You can call it that. You can see up, down, up, down, up, down, right? So I'm going to be waiting. And I think the pullback level that should come in is right here. This is the level that I want to be long off of, right here, 433. That's my pullback long. So that is what I will be waiting for to feel confident on the upside. This previous high, I want us right here. If we can pull back to 433, that is where I'd look for that next upside move, right? Right in that 433 area. Maybe down to that trend line. That's possible as well. But I like that 433. 1, 2, double top high. Look at that possible pullback long that could create itself here off 433. So 433, that's a big level that I would be watching here. This is a very important break under 439 here. This is yesterday's lows. You can see that break below it in the pre-market. I think you're going to at least trade down to the 50 SMA, right? Back down to this 436.40. That would be a target of mine today. The 50 SMA, 436.40. And then under that, 433, right? 436.40, 433 are the two targets to the downside. Right here, right here. I'm short right now on the SPY, so I'm happy to see what's going on right now, but we'll have to see if that sticks. If there's anything I've learned this week, it's that the market can do this. Bam. See you later. Go F yourself, right? So that's pretty much what the market's been telling me lately, the last 2 days, right? You get a little bit of a move, you're feeling confident, bam. See you later, idiot. So we'll see what happens. But right now, looking good. 439. You can see we've broken under that. I think targets are 436.40, and I think targets are 433. 433 would be my long spot right here. This is my long spot down at 433. ES. Yeah. All right. So we're getting some breakdown. Levels to be looking for here. 5187, right? 5187. Let me delete this real quick. Hold on. Get a better view here. Holding the Tesla put? Yeah, I had the Tesla put yesterday. I took profits. I probably should have held it, huh? That's all right. So ES here, right here, 52.26, big rejection yesterday. This was our sort of low from Tuesday, pre-market low, 52.02. You can see we broke below that 52.02 and caused downside. Where's the next level today? Right here, 51.87. 51.87 is the 50 SMA. That is very key. That is a target to the downside. That's target number one. Target number one, 51.87 to the downside. If we break under 51.87, I think you will move lower to 51.50 potentially. This is all pre-market action, guys. All right here. Everything until let me put a timeline here. From here to here. All of this is after hours, right? So that is a gap, right? That is a gap. If you break under 51.87, you are in a gap. And that gap moves down to around this 51.50, which I think is a healthy move back to the downside. So I would be watching that potential gap area under 51.87. If we go to the SPX, we could see it right here. Look at these gaps on the SPX. Let me go back. So SPX obviously has not updated this morning, but you have a gap on. You have a few gaps on the SPX really. You have one around that 51.40 area, down to let's call it 51.30, and then you have another one. This is a larger one, 51.02, down to around that 50.70 area. So you got some gaps here on the SPX chart after some of these upside moves on the SPY, something I'd be watching. But I'll show you a little bit more in detail on the SPY here in a moment. So right now, let me get a little bit more time here. 1 second. If I look at this 15-minute chart, I think, personally, this will be a great spot for us to come back down to. Right here, 51.50. Right, 51.50, previous highs. Come back down to here. That would create our next potential long. That would be somewhere I'm definitely looking for, 51.50. Either 51.50 or 51.30. These are two spots that I would look for this sort of upside move to continue, right? It's been on this grind, right? Let me go out. Let me get a little bit more time here. Let me get the hourly chart here for you. So we've been on this grind. I'm actually going to delete these levels for a second, show this a little bit cleaner. All right, here's your ES. Here's your grind. All right, let's call it this, right? So up, down, up, down, up. Okay? What's the next move, right? What's the next move that we want to be long off of, right? If we look at this chart, if you're long here, if you're long in this area or this area, if you're long down here, you're killing it, right? Good longs, good longs, good longs, okay? Longing after a move has not been profitable, all right? So that's why, again, I'm just reiterating why I think this is a reason for waiting for pullbacks, right? Why you need to wait for these pullbacks. It will create better opportunities for you, and you want to wait for those opportunities. You want to be selective, be a sniper. Don't just have to long because the market's up. So 51.50, right? 51.87. These are the two levels I'd watch. Under 87, guys, there is a gap towards 50, right? I'd be careful of this. If we break under 50 or 87 today, I think you're going to move back to that 50, all right? So watch that 51.87 and that 50 SMA very closely. Let's go to the SPY. SPY, I'm going to show you the gaps real quick on SPY. So you guys can see right here. Here are your gaps that I'm talking about on SPY. I'll go to the 15-minute chart. All right. So your first gap that is showing up is below right here, 513.30. So 513.30 down to the 50 SMA. That's right here. That's number one. 513.30. I'm just going to put this as gap 1. So under that, 513.30 is gap number 1. That goes down into our next demand at 512. Gap number 2 is under 508. Let's call it, what's the low here? 508.56. 508.56 is gap number 2. And that's a bigger one. That's Friday. Gap 2. So under that is gap 2. That's down into this 505 area. So now let's turn back on the after hours and look at what we're looking at here. So here we go. So here's the SPY. This is a, I think, important break here. Right now, what we just witnessed, 516 area, 516.20. I'm going to go ahead and put that as red for a second here. 516.20. You can see that is this low that sort of came in here. After hours pre-market low, you just broke below it and caused downside. Next demand, I believe, is 515. So I'd be watching 515 today for potential holds. Be careful of 515. Under 515, you move into this 513.30 gap level. That's where the gap starts under 513.30 into the 512 demand, which is really where I'd like for us to come back down to. The 512 demand, I think, is the proper spot. If I look and zoom out here for a second, hold on. I like the 512. I'll show you why. Let me delete. I'll keep that gap on there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make these a little bit different just so I know what they are. Put that there. Do that. All right. So I like the 512 as the pullback level. You guys can see right here, 512 previous lows, 512, and that's where we sort of just had straight up, right? Since 512 here, you just had this straight up move. So I like this to pull back, right? Back to 512, back to these lows, back to that 50 SMA. Maybe that's where we can get that next long opportunity. That's still nowhere near the uptrending move. Let's make that clear, right? That's not even close to this uptrending move. So you're still potentially more here if this does move actually lower. But to be realistic, right, let's not be, right, just because we think the market should go lower, let's not be idiots, right, and say, oh, we should be down, 5%, 4%, 3%. Let's be realistic and make sure we understand where demands are. The first major demand that I think could actually hold this market up is 512. So that's where that's my target on the downside. That's where I'd look for that potential long around that 512. If you do break that 512, well, then you're actually going to, I think, move lower towards that gap, that 508. So 512, that's going to be the level I watch today on the SPY. That's going to be my target. First demand, though, to be careful of is right here, guys, 515. We can't forget about 515. There's definitely a possibility of this 515 holding, right? So be careful of 515 today if you are looking short, right? Where would be a great short entry today? I would be looking for a pop and fade still, right? I still personally like the pop and fade. I always like the pop and fade. So I think 516.50 right here, these lows from yesterday, I think that's your pop and fade move to look for. 516.50, the yesterday lows. Look to see if yesterday's lows turns into a rejection. Okay. All right, guys. So looking good so far on our idea yesterday. Here was sort of I just sort of wrote out the thought process yesterday for the group, the SPY puts. So I'm in May 9th, May 10th, 516 puts overnight. That's what I'm holding right now. So we'll see how those do today. I'd like for those to pay off some of my paper cut losses since the start of this week. All right. Russell, this is also key, I think. Russell's starting to lose some strength. The Russell has been I think a reason for the market just sort of holding up. It's been very strong. And it looks like the Russell's actually losing some strength today. So Russell's back under 2070, guys. That's very important. I would look to see if you can fade the Russell under 2070, to be honest. Look to see if Russell can turn this 27 into a rejection point. This is no joke of a level here, 2070. 4-hour chart, 2070, 2070. You are back under that 2070. This can absolutely come back down to 2035. All right? I think the Russell should be back down to 2035. come back down there. That's actually a really clean, that would be a very clean pullback long potentially on the Russell. See this? All right, this is actually very clean on the Russell. I think Russell back down to this 2035 would be a great retest long entry right here. That would be really nice, actually. So if you're looking for the Russell, I'd watch this 2035 pullback. This looks very nice. Uptrending move, right? Due for a pullback back to these previous levels, right? And then look to see if that's a long. Really like that. Watch 2035 on the RTY. Dow Jones, Mike Jones, Daniel Jones, one last year, DJ. 38.8. 38.8. That's where I'd look for it. 38.8, 100 SMA. That's where it should come down to. IWM, yeah, I'll show you what that is on the IWM. It's the same thing, guys. Remember that. Okay, it's the same damn thing. IWM, it's right here. 200. That'd be like exactly 200 on the IWM. That'd be pretty nice, right? Nice psych 200 level. There we go. Bam, right? Back to here. Back to these highs, right? Turn that into a new demand. Bam, 200 long. Bam, long. Beautiful. That's what I'd look for. Yeah, watch that 200 on IWM. All right. Tesla. Ouch. Ouch. I had a lot of Tesla puts yesterday. I had a lot. You guys know that. Here was the swing trade. Where is it? Here it is. I missed this one. Tesla 186 fade overnight. I had this on Monday. Took good profits on it yesterday, so I don't mind, right? Took good profits on it, so it's good. I'm happy about it, but obviously, hey, could have been a whole shitload of a lot more, but that's trading, right? We know that's trading, and that is not my job to care about. I don't care about it. There's going to be more opportunities. Let's continue to focus up on that. So, 178, really big break below, right? Big break below. That 186 fade was perfect. I love that. I saw that on Monday. This was a gorgeous setup, and we took that short Monday into Tuesday, into yesterday. Really nice setup, really nice fade. We're under this here, right? We're under that 173. What's the low of this? 173.87. 173.87 was the low of that move on Tesla on earnings. Under that, we have a gap into 169.50. So we have a gap to fill. We're in a gap right now into 169.50. All right. Under 169.50, you're going to have that 20 SMA. So I'd be a little bit cautious on Tesla downside here into gap fill and 20 SMA. That's going to be a little bit concerning because this is really the move that you wanted intraday, guys. All right, this is sort of over now, unfortunately, in my eyes. All right, I don't really want to be short into this gap fill level and the daily 20 SMA. So if you get under that 169.50 and you get under that daily 20, then sure, I think you can move back to 160 here. That's very possible. But I'd be a little bit cautious shorting into a gap fill, right? Because it's sort of filled already. So be careful there. I would actually look for a rejection of this level right here. 173. I would say, let's call it 174, really. I'd say look for a rejection of 174. Right? Bounce off here. Bounce off this level. Come back into this low. Come back into this high. And then start to see rejections at 174. That's what I'd look for. Either there or here. 178. Either way, I'd look for the sort of fading move here to continue. Nvidia. So Nvidia, I would say should be here, guys. 885 looks to be where Nvidia should come back down to. This could be creating a flag here, just to let you know. This is definitely not bearish in my eyes yet on Nvidia. Nvidia is a beast. It has been a beast, but it's extended itself, right? This is the same with everything that's going on, guys. You need to understand sort of the breadth of the market, right? So up, down, up, down, up, right? Things don't do this. We cannot expect market to do this, okay? We don't do this. Something else may do this. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does this. That's fucked up. I'm laughing at my own jokes over here. Something may do this, some may do this, but the market does not do that. The market does this, right? This is how we like to see the market move. This is healthy for the market. We'd rather a market trade like this than trade vertical, right? So a little bit of pullback here on Nvidia, actually quite a good thing. I would be looking to see if we can pull back to this 885, right? 885 right here. Previous high. Here's your lows. I would like Nvidia to come back down towards this 885. This would be the next level I'd look for the long entry. People in the chat have seen the... All right, so I'd like to see 885 on Nvidia, right in this general area. If you get below that, I say you're going to move down to that 865. So 885, 865, two pullback levels I'd be watching on Nvidia today. I'd be careful longing this into 908. Here's why, okay? I'd be careful longing this into 908. Reason being, right here. I don't really like this high. So be careful at 908 on Nvidia. Be careful of that rejection potential. I'd like us right there. 885, 865. Look for those pullbacks, guys. That's going to be your next opportunity, in my opinion. AMD, another beautiful fade of 157. It's like clockwork over here on AMD. Beautiful 157, 157, 157, 157 again. Beautiful 157 rejections. You are under 153, which is sort of concerning, I'd say. If you hold under 153 today, I'd say you're going to move down into that 151 and possibly back down into this 149 again. Let me go and zoom in this a little bit short term here. So you can see 157, very clear rejection, right? Very clear rejection at 157. You have this little low here at 153 that I'd like to see hold for upside. If it doesn't, I think you're going to trade right here, guys, 151. 151 is where Monday gapped up, right? And I think this could be very easily a move straight back to the downside, right? If we go straight up, we can go straight down, okay? So watch 151 here. Watch this 149. If we reject 153 today, I'd say you're targeting that 151. TSM, having a lot of trouble up here at this 143 level. We talked about this short. We talked about how this would be a perfect fade off this level. It's doing exactly that. We said how this is a very important 143 level for TSM, and you can see the fade that's coming in. Really nice there. Very clean, very structured. This is normal. The level I'd say for us to pull back to is right here, 139.50. So I don't think there's much opportunity for downside here to trade it. Really just a tight range. I'd say watch 139.50. If you get under 139.50, maybe there's a break of trend. That might be hard to look for on TSM because it's been a pretty strong name. So I'd be careful of looking for a break of trend, right? This would be, I think, a little bit far-fetched, at least at the current moment with the market strength we've seen, to look for this type of move. If it does, great. There's probably some opportunity there. But for now, I'd say this could definitely hold at these previous highs, 139.50. You also have the 20 and 50 SMA right below it. So this could be a nice little long entry. I'd be watching that, 139.50 TSM. Let's go to SMCI really quick. SMCI, guys, got to hold 800. If you hold 800, you could get some downside here. So I'd say just watch 800 on SMCI. That's just a clean level to watch today. Let's go to Meta. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Meta's done, right? Guys, this trade's over. It's done, right? We talked about this on Monday. We talked about if we get over 453, this thing could go straight up. If we get over 440, we can go straight up, right? And it did exactly that. So congratulations, anyone that took this. I'm the idiot over here that did not. I cannot believe it, actually. I took some of it, and I definitely could have had more. So unfortunate there. I definitely could have performed a whole hell of a lot better on Meta this week. But I'm happy for some of you guys. I know a lot of you guys in the chat were all over this and nailed this thing, so crushed it. Plenty of more opportunities out there. 475, 474. I don't think you want to be long right now, guys. There's no reason, okay? If you're still long Meta and you still are looking out here to long Meta because, oh, Meta's up the last 3 days, you're in the wrong, okay? I'm just going to tell it to you bluntly. You are not longing Meta now into the 20 SMA, into this previous low. Maybe it works for you, but that is a very lucky trade if that works for you because it's over, right? It's pushed higher. It's done the move. People have made their money, right? There's been plenty of opportunity to make money. And you are up into the previous lows, and you're up into the 20 SMA now. This is the gap fill, right? Meta has filled the gap. So that trade, if your trade was a Meta gap fill, well, it's done, right? So that was very nice, very structured trade. Gap fill after the earnings downside, beautiful, back to the upside, back into these previous lows. If you get above the 20 SMA, right? If you get above the 20 SMA and you hold above it, then okay, now we can look for it again, right? If we get above this 20, we hold above it, then hey, we can look for it again. But we need a confident move above that 20, above that 474, above this previous low before we can just start longing into this supply level, right? So we need to look for that. We can look for it, but I'd say for now, I'd want some pullbacks on Meta to maybe look for longs again. If I go to the 15-minute chart, here's some levels I'd be watching. I'd watch right here, 461, 460, maybe some longs there. Don't love that. Maybe it's a scalp because it is too close to this. What would I really like? 453 again. If we get a 453 pullback, this would be my next long spot. 453, that's something where I would watch. You could look for a scalp off 461, but it's very close to the supply. I'd be very careful of longing into 474 and that 20 SMA that's coming down on us. So right here, 461, 453, two pullback levels that I'd be looking for. Yeah, Carvana. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Whether you like what I'm about to say or not, there's no way in hell that Carvana deserves to be where it is. It was a $3 stock. It's at $116. It's a vending machine for goddamn cars, okay? I don't get it. Maybe they're making money that I don't know about. They probably are. I'm just being probably irrational, sort of thick-headed, and not smart enough to look into it. But for it to go from $3 to $120 in 2 years, actually a year and a half, seems like a lot. Seems like a lot for a company that was once going out of business. So I could be dead wrong here, but that's just my gut feeling. 111.45 under that level is a major gap here, right? Major gap. 111.45 under that goes down to 94. So yeah, you got a huge gap here on Carvana under 111.45, right? You have a gap to 94. Okay, so I would be watching this. You had a short report or a fraud report come out yesterday on Carvana. Probably not a good look. If you get under 111.45, I'd say there is possibility of a gap fill, and I would be all over this thing. So keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this. That is a crazy move on earnings. Up almost, what is that? Is that 40%? 50%. Are you kidding me? Carvana's up 50% on earnings. All right. I mean, all right. It is what it is. I got to look more into it. Before I make you guys do things that you shouldn't be doing, look more into it. Do your own due diligence here. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a lot to me, but I could be dead wrong. I need to read more into there. Is there something else about Carvana that I don't know about? Is there something else in Carvana that I don't know about? How did they make $3 billion? Carvana made $3 billion selling those cars out of vending machines? That's impressive, if that's true. There's got to be something else. I'm trying to think. Huge car auction company. Yeah, I gotta look into it. All right. Either way, there's definitely money to be made here in the short term. There's definitely a fade opportunity here. Gap fill opportunity. So, whether the company is legit or not, or, I mean, it's obviously a legit company. You see it everywhere. But whether the company is worth where it's at or not, there's definitely an opportunity to fill this gap, right? That's for sure. So I'd be looking for the gap fill, whether you like the stock or not. This gap fill will create a trading opportunity. Okay, this will be a trading opportunity on Carvana. Watch that gap fill possibility. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Sam, they're overpaying for cars. That's the same reason that they got into the situation they got in back when. I mean, it's probably because demand for cars has come back after, everything happened in the world. The world shut down. But that was sort of what happened to them in the first place. They were overpaying for cars and sort of got stuck with a pretty hefty debt there. But all right, let's continue. What do I want to look at? Let's look at Amazon. Amazon has rejected the all-time high level pretty aggressively here. So I'd be watching this. You can see right here, 4-hour chart on Amazon. Really heavy rejection at the 190 again. You can see 1 and 2 big-time rejections there. I would look for it to come back down to 185, right? That's where I'd want us to come back down to. 185 on Amazon. That would be my next long entry right here, 185. Look for that pullback. That would be the next long entry to look for. If you get under 185, you're going down to the 180, okay? Big rejection of all-time highs. I would not long Amazon into 190, okay, without a downside move. All right, so I'd want to see us down under down at the 185 to see if there's a long. If you get under that, I'd say 180. All right, keep an eye on those levels on Amazon. Microsoft 410 looks like it is sort of rejecting, so I don't like this as much as I once did. I would have liked 410 to see a hold level, but it is now underneath. So if you stay under 410, then we could see continuation to the downside. This is a big 410 level, and if you stay weak under 410, I think you could see more downside. I'd say watch 410 closely on Microsoft. Yes, I think Shopify is affecting Amazon this morning. That is why you're seeing that. Shopify is getting manhandled here. I got to see what's going on with my Shopify shares. Down to 61. Surprise loss. We got to see why they lost. Surprise loss in the quarter. Posted a loss of 21 cents. What is it, CapEx? Does anyone know why Shopify showed a loss? I have to read into it. So Shopify, yep, big downside on Shop earnings. I'd say you're going to move down into the 60 right here. Watch this $60 level on Shop. Right here. See this? Right there. 60. That's probably where you're moving down to. 60. So watch that 60 on Shopify. But I'm not touching this thing. It's a long-term hold for me. What else? Let's go to Coinbase. Coinbase has been in this very healthy slide lower, guys, and I would maybe start looking at it a little bit more, right? Right here, this low around 205, I think is a very interesting low. Why is my line not there? Maybe it is, and I just don't have an alert on it. Right here, around that 205.60. What's the low here? The low here is 205.67, 205.90. I would be looking at this low right here. If Coinbase drops these lows, I think you will see more downside right here. This low If you drop this low around 205, let's call it, that's 205.67, 205.90. I mean, let's call it 205, right? Just to play it safe. Let's call it 205. If we drop 205 on Coinbase here, I think you could see more downside, right? This would be a big break. That's a double bottom low at 205. If you get under that, I think you can move down to that 192, right? 192 in that 100 SMA. This has been a very structured downside move, like I said originally. Look at this structuring lower move on Coinbase, right? Here's 1, here's 2, right? It's been structure 1, structure 2. So you got this, right? And you're going to continue to look for this to happen. So I'm going to watch this 205 area. I think this is an important level to keep an eye out for. If you get under that 205, I think you trade right here into that 192. Bitcoin trending lower as well. Yeah, same thing with Bitcoin. Still above that 60, though, so you got to be careful there. Let's go to Google. So here's Googie. Really nice little grind back higher yesterday off our 170 level. We can see right here, 170, very nice. 168, very nice. And you can see right here, you have 170.140. That's this low right here. This low right here, lower that, 170.140. If you break under 171.40 today, you move back to 170. So 171.40, 171.40. If we go to the 5-minute chart, look where did we hold yesterday intraday on Google? Look how clean. Look at that. 171.40. Why did we hold there? Why did Google hold this level intraday yesterday? That is because of this low, right? There's a reason why stocks hold certain levels. There's a reason why Google just randomly held 171.30 or 171.40 yesterday. It's because of this low right here. So that was a very nice hold. Now today, if we look at this 5-minute chart, right, if we do not hold that level here today, right, if we do not hold this level here today, you should see downside, okay? So if we get under 171.40, then you will see down to 170, all right? Just sort of makes sense there. Watch 171.40. Watch to see if that's a rejection. If it is, you're going to 170, right? That could be a nice trade. Okay. Netflix, what an absolute monstrosity of a stock. Insane. Love Netflix. Big time long-term portfolio. Very large part of my long-term portfolio. I don't got much for you here. This is a sick trade. I don't got much for you here. If you missed this, you probably missed the juice. I'd say 602, right? I'd say look to see if it holds this 50 SMA today. Let's go ahead and relook at this tomorrow after seeing what happens at this 50 SMA. I don't have much for you on it today. Apple, bunch of nothing. Apple's back into la la land over here. I wouldn't even be looking at Apple. Buy shares if you like Apple. If you think Apple, becomes a big server, AI server, semiconductor person, they start getting involved in it. If you like that for the future of Apple, if you like some of the other news you heard about Rivian, et cetera, if you like all that, buy shares. Don't trade this. This is disgusting. It's going to continue to do this. This is not good for options, guys. Don't trade options on Apple. Buy shares if you like this stock. That's going to always be my opinion and my recommendation. All right. I think that's about all I got. PANW. Yeah, we tried to see if it would hold that 304. Doesn't look like it's going to. That 304, that 100 SMA looks like it's tired, of course, with the market. So that doesn't look like it's going to hold. What else? We already went over Tesla, man. Tesla, great downside. Nvidia, nice. AMD, MU. I'd say watch 117. That's going to be very important. 117 is going to be huge. Where did this reject? Sort of like this 124 area. 121. Sort of. Oh, yeah, right in here. This 122. Previous low there. So 122 rejection, these previous lows on MU. I would say watch 117 here. Right there. 117, 117. Look to see if that can hold 117. If that can't hold 117, you could start to fail again. So watch this on MU. 117. Big level there. All right. That's all I got, guys. Ooh. Oh, shit. We actually moved pretty nicely lower while I was blabbering away. All right. So what did you just hit? 18,070 is what you just hit, guys. That was one of our targets. 18,070. So you can see right there, this could be somewhere the market holds on now. This is a nice little downside move, 18,070. Ouch, 722 likes. All right, I'm out of here. I'm out. 18,070, 81, 5187, our exact level. We get exact levels here. We can't get likes, though. 515, there's your exact demand we talked about already. And the ES, 5187. QQQ, probably back down to the 50 SMA, 436.40. All right? Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm running an ad. I'll see you guys later. Press the like button. Can't get to 1,000 anymore. Guess you guys don't like the Rangers. Oh, well. My team is 5-0. Your team's not. Just kidding. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.